Right now, a big change coming to Camp Randall ahead of this weekend's game. What the new rules on alcohol could mean for the rowdiness of the crowd. Plus, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump back on the campaign trail. What the two candidates had to say about the chances for another debate. And helping children in need, how a local partnership is giving police the tools to support children in crisis. It's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. It has been the biggest Badger football news of the season so far. Not the new quarterback or Alabama coming to town. For the first time, you can buy alcohol inside Camp Randall Stadium. And with the first two games down and preparations to welcome the Crimson Tide underway, our Braden Ross checked in on how the big change is going.
Our assessment's going to happen all season long.
It may be too soon to know for sure, but UWPD spokesperson Mark Lovicott says so far, so good.
There's nothing that really jumped out at us in terms of police contacts, especially related to the sale of alcohol at Camp Randall.
I looked at the numbers. Here's how Camp Randall scored this year compared to last.
So far this year, 6 people have been ejected due to intoxication, 4 people have been transported to detox, and police had contact with 6 people with a blood alcohol content of 0.2 or higher. In the first 2 games of the 2023 season, 2 people were ejected due to intoxication, 2 people were taken to detox, and police had contact with 4 people with a blood alcohol content of 0.2 or higher. The one place you will find a noticeable difference, the number of ejections. 2023's first 2 games had 43 ejections. This year, that number jumped to 73. But 23 of those were attributed to tobacco use, an area where Lovicott says they have seen a change.
We have seen a noticeable increase over the last 2 games of the number of individuals that we contact that are either smoking or vaping, both of which, of course, are not allowed inside Camp Randall, and both of which would mean an automatic ejection.
But as far as alcohol, Lovicott says the real test is still yet to come. With big challengers like Alabama this weekend and others throughout the rest of the season, UWPD will continue to keep an eye on things and make changes if they need to.
We're really looking closely at this upcoming game because we'll have had a late game, a 2:30 game, and then now this weekend we'll have an 11 o'clock game. So we'll get a true sense of what numbers look like.
Reporting in Madison, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
And if you're heading to Camp Randall this season, maybe wondering how much a beer would cost you inside, a can of beer will run you $11.99 and a seltzer goes for $12.50. Well, the Madison Fire Department now says all 3 downtown fires that happened early yesterday are connected and that a person of interest is in custody. Arson detectives were looking for the man after discovering that a dumpster had been intentionally set on fire early yesterday. The fire intentionally set on West Johnson at State Street. Meanwhile, another dumpster was set on fire on Langdon Street. And then a third fire happened at a home on West Washington Avenue. 6 students were displaced because of that fire. Damage estimates are about $500,000. So far, the suspect has not been charged. A local food bank is looking for more support in its fight against food insecurity. Tonight, Second Harvest Food Bank of Southern Wisconsin asking the Dane County Board to continue funding for food banks and pantries. The food bank says its partners are seeing up to a 50% increase in food requests. The hope is to receive $5 to $6 million a year in funding. That equals about 3.5 million pounds of food that can be purchased from 40 different businesses or vendors.
We hope that choices are made that acknowledge that without food, you know, a lot of things don't work. Hunger makes everything harder. Housing, food, these are really basic needs. And when folks don't have the food that they need, everything else becomes harder.
Since the beginning of their food distribution program, Second Harvest has worked with around 230 local agencies to distribute food to families in need. One vote on November 5th will have a big impact in the city of Fitchburg. Tuesday, the Fitchburg City Council voted to place a referendum question on the November ballot. Voters will be asked whether or not they support a more than $3.5 million increase in the property tax levy. Now, the tax bills would be issued in December, and the impact for a median home in the city of Fitchburg would be nearly $25 per month. The funds will help create several new first responder positions and support other city operating costs. In the coming weeks, the city will host 7 public information sessions for residents. Clouds will move into the region ahead of the weekend, and with that overcast comes a chance of some rain. Let's check in with meteorologist Jacob Madison for the latest on the forecast. Jacob?
Yeah, despite that cloud cover, we are still going to be pretty warm. Now, not as warm as today. It certainly was well above average. Right now, though, we are seeing much more comfortable conditions. Looking at the current temperature, right around, these are the high temperatures. Here's a look at the current temperatures in the 60s across much of Dane County. Some areas in the county staying in the lower 70s, and that's the case for much of the region. But earlier, as you just saw, the high temperatures were in the middle to upper 80s. 80s, and Janesville and a few other isolated locations did get into the lower 90s. Now, throughout the week, the air has been drier, so the feels like temperatures haven't been too much warmer than the actual temperatures. Actually, they've been very similar, so that has been the good news. But overnight, it is still going to be fairly mild as clouds are going to move into the area. Low temperatures will be around 60, also above average for this time of the year. And looking at future casts, you can see plenty of cloud cover by the time we get to the morning. A few breaks in the clouds are possible, but otherwise we'll see pretty much completely cloudy skies for Friday and for all of the weekend. However, we're not going to see a ton of rainfall. I'll talk more in detail about the rainfall chances coming up a little bit later.
Jacob, thank you. Former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris back on the road after their first debate, which might just be their last. CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry now with the latest from Washington.
In battleground Arizona, former President Donald Trump declared himself winner of Tuesday's debate with Vice President Kamala Harris.
As everyone saw 2 nights ago, we had a monumental victory.
But after posting on social media earlier in the day, the former president repeated that there won't be another face-off between him and Harris before Election Day.
So because we've done 2 debates and because they were successful, there will be no third debate.
Outside the rally venue in Tucson, this Trump supporter said she wants to see a rematch.
I think it'd be good for both of them.
On Thursday, Harris hit the campaign trail in the swing state of North Carolina.
I believe we owe it to the voters to have another debate, because this election and what is at stake could not be more important.
The vice president went after Trump on issues including the future of the Affordable Care Act.
He's going to end it based on a concept and take us back when folks were suffering. Well, we're not going back.
Trump has said he intends to replace the Affordable Care Act with another package of health reforms. At his Tucson rally, the former president announced a new plan to end taxes on overtime pay after a 40-hour work week.
That gives people more of an incentive to work.
Trump has also been vowing to end taxes on tips and Social Security benefits if he wins his bid to return to the White House. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
And here in Wisconsin, the latest Marquette Law School poll shows Kamala Harris ahead of Donald Trump by 4 points now. A big shift for her in the last month, but still within the margin of error. The Marquette poll was taken before this week's debate, and poll director Charles Franklin says it includes a possible bump she got from the DNC.
I think what we're seeing is a bit of an increase in Harris's support. She was leading by 1 or 2 points in July before the DNC. She's leading by 4 now. And so there's a couple of points improvement there. It's still inside the margin of error, and the change is inside that margin of error. So I think we should be cautious about it. But if you compare her to where Biden was, she seems to be in a clearly better position.
And Franklin tells us he'll be out with another poll looking at the impact of the debate on the election, and you can see more from our sit-down this Sunday morning at 10:30 on For the Record. A contractor in Sun Prairie is the subject of accusations from the federal agency in charge of inspecting workplaces. OSHA says that GL Construction of Madison received citations for 8 violations and proposed penalties over $144,000 stemming from infractions at a Verona construction site back in February. Documents allege employees were exposed to fall hazards, workers were not using proper eye protection, and employees were operating boom trucks without proper licensing. Those are the allegations. GL Construction has contested the penalties. Jobless claims inched up in the first week of this month. According to a U.S. Department of Labor report, new jobless claims rose by 2,000 in the week ending September 7th. That brought the total number of new jobless claims for the week to 230,000. But while new jobless claims are up, the number of continuing claims fell by over 43,000. The Department of Labor says the data shows layoffs are not ramping up significantly, even as the labor market cools. A recent report shows that scam complaints overall are falling, but one type of scam is on the rise. The Identity Theft Resource Center says reports of job scams to their organization have jumped 118% in 2023. The con often happens when a victim is told to fill out a job application. Scammers are not only sending texts, they also post fake jobs on legitimate employment sites.
When applications are asking for things like your social security number, your bank account information, your passport or driver's license information, that's a huge red flag.
I know that the scammers, these are elaborate crime networks.
And to avoid falling victim to those scams, experts recommend thinking twice before accepting any job offer, especially if it sounds too good to be true. A local nonprofit's donation to a law enforcement agency is working to help children in need. Today, the Reach a Child program donated 30 first responder bags to the Dane County Sheriff's Office. Now, this donation is part of a $10,000 contribution from AT&T that is supporting first responders across the state. Each bag contains 20 new children's books and several drawstring backpacks. The books are given to kids at the scene of an accident to redirect the child's attention from the crisis at hand.
The Reach a Child program is designed to give the first responders a tool that they can use to spend time with the child and to engage with the child, and also ultimately to help the child to get back into a better mental place. And they do that through the power of a book.
Dane County Sheriff's Office also received 250 children's books to support upcoming community events. When we come back, Jacob will tell us about our forecast ahead of the big game on Saturday at Camp Randall, plus raising awareness for mental health, how local organizers are connecting construction workers with resources in the Madison area.
Furniture and Appliance Mart is celebrating 55 years in business with the lowest prices on appliances and zero-interest financing for 55 months, plus weekly doorbusters and up to $300 in free groceries at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde insulted Wisconsin seniors.
Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
What a jerk. He attacked those who are overweight.
Fine, you want to do that? Your health care is going to cost more.
How insulting is that?
He called farmers lazy.
Look at the old physical toil. Now you're largely driving around a tractor.
This guy doesn't have a clue.
Eric Hovde has insulted just about everyone.
What's wrong with this guy?
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Make cleanups quick and easy with big savings on Libman products. Great on many surfaces, the Wonder Mop is tough on stubborn dirt and messes and is just $7.99 after rebate. Brighten up your spaces with an 11% rebate on all GT light bulbs. This light bulb is 7 times brighter than a standard bulb and features adjustable light panels. Get this 3-panel bulb for just $7.99 after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
If you're looking for a new fence or deck, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. You'll get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off the installation or 60-month no-interest financing on your fence or deck. Scan the code to see if you qualify.
They've been rocking audiences for decades. It's Foghat. Performing live November 30th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
I just want to make
with special guest, the Empty Pockets. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. Legendary rock band Foghat. Live in concert November 30th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
China Lights is back this fall at Berner Botanical Gardens in Milwaukee. This spectacular event has been leaving visitors awestruck for its magnificent array of over 40 huge lanterns. China Lights Year of the Dragon is simply amazing. With animals, entertainment, food, and an interactive zone, this event is for the whole family. China Lights opens this Friday and runs through October 27th. Buy your tickets now. The experience is breathtaking.
Ashley's massive 55th anniversary celebration is on now. Get rock bottom prices on top mattress brands. Plus, our gift to you, 0-interest financing for 55 months and weekly mattress doorbusters. Only at Ashley.
News 3 Now is focusing on the issues and the races that matter where you live, with 3 for the people.
Talking with local candidates, looking at both sides of the issues and fact-checking it all, so you can cast your vote with confidence.
3 for the people, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 10, moving forward.
We'll take a look at this. Dramatic body camera video shows 2 Texas police officers rescuing 2 children from their burning home. Seconds before flames engulfed their bedroom, Police say the call came in just before 2 in the morning on Tuesday. The home engulfed in flames when officers arrived. The mother telling officers the children were in that front room. Police say an officer took out a window air conditioning unit to get inside that room. Both children were taken to a local hospital for smoke inhalation. They have since been treated and released. September is National Suicide Awareness Month, and this week organizers in Madison are participating in Construction Worker Suicide Awareness Month. Kara McCaffrey is an organizer for the event. In 2005, she lost her brother Gary to suicide. He worked at her family's company in Pennsylvania. Now Kara is partnering with Safe Communities in Dane County to ensure that people in the Madison area can take advantage of local resources.
Construction is typically one of the top industries for suicide deaths. So this group is really trying to spread awareness and get information out there across the country to help people in the construction industry.
If you or anyone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, help is available. The National Suicide Hotline number is 988. Smoking is the leading cause of preventable death in the United States, but a new report shines a light on the underage use of these addictive products. New data released from the CDC earlier this month shows e-cigarette use has decreased among minors by almost 2% in the last year. Although that number doesn't sound like much, it actually means that youth e-cigarette use is the lowest it's been in a decade. One UW-Madison researcher says one reason rates are changing has to do with education.
As educational campaigns have happened and you've seen the different campaigns talking about the heavy metals and the other toxins, you've seen campaigns with adolescents talking about how addictive it is and how people start fiending and, all of the other negative consequences that come from e-cigarette use that kids just didn't know about.
Although there is a decline in e-cigarette use among teens, nicotine pouches are becoming slightly more popular. Cooler weather is helping crews battle 3 major wildfires in Southern California. The state's largest is the Bridge Fire. That's tearing through terrain about 75 miles east of Los Angeles. It is 0% contained currently. It's burned at least 80 square miles. The fire damaged lifts at a ski area and incinerated at least 40 homes and cabins in mountain communities. A 34-year-old man has been charged with 9 criminal counts in connection to starting the Line Fire. That fire, about 50 miles east of Los Angeles, has burned about 58 square miles and forced thousands of evacuations. It is only 18% contained. Francine has now weakened to a tropical depression, and as that storm moves inland, more than 10 million people in the south could see flood level rainfall. Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses are without power in Louisiana, Mississippi, and also Alabama after wind and fallen trees ripped down power lines. More than a month's worth of rain was dropped on New Orleans within just hours, causing a rare flash flood emergency there. One man who was out on the road got stuck in a truck when floodwaters began to overtake his vehicle. Thankfully, a nearby nurse sprang into action.
I just made a game-time decision and said, I'll be right back. Went and grabbed a hammer at my house and just went in there and broke the window and got him out of there.
Well, the focus now turns to power restoration. At last check, more than 270,000 homes and businesses were without power in Louisiana and also Alabama. So we always want to see if the effects will be felt here. From Francine, we go to meteorologist Jacob Madison for our rain chances in the coming days. And, we could use a little rain, Jacob.
Yeah, we definitely can, but unfortunately, we're not going to see a lot of it. So looking at the 3 things that we need to know, we are going to see plenty of cloud cover from the remnants of Francine as it moves further north, but we're only going to see a few showers over the weekend. A few areas could see some moderate to heavy rain, but mostly off to the west. And overall, despite the cloud cover, we are going to stay warm. Now, first, I do want to touch on the wildfire smoke that we've kind of been seeing across our area. If we take a look at futurecast in terms of the wildfire smoke for the next couple of days, it is really going to clear out for Friday and for the game on Saturday. We may see it come back into our area a little bit later in the weekend and early next week, but for Friday and Saturday, we're not going to see the skies quite as hazy. Now, looking at the remnants of Francine, right now a post-tropical cyclone. You can still see it kind of spitting, but right now just seeing some moderate showers, nothing too heavy at this point in time, but it is going to continue to track north. Plenty of cloud covers in the forecast starting tomorrow and lasting all the way throughout the weekend. But if you notice, most of the rain will stay to the west of Madison. Now, areas near the Mississippi River could see some of these showers, maybe some pockets of heavy rainfall, but for before Friday night into Saturday, that'll be the first chance of rain. It looks like the western counties will see the most of it. Now, for the majority of our area, the best chance of rain will be Saturday night into early Sunday, but even this round of precipitation is expected to clear out pretty quickly, and we're not going to see that much rainfall from it. And then as we get to Sunday afternoon, just a few small chances of rainfall, but notice skies remain very cloudy throughout the entire day, both Saturday and Sunday. And once we get to Monday, we'll see a little bit of a break from the cloud cover, and it looks like most of the rain will stay off to the west from then. But total precipitation, as you can see, not going to be much, only about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch at most, and that will be for areas near the Mississippi River. And we definitely could use the rainfall because the new drought monitor is showing the abnormally dry conditions expanding. Now, still, we're technically not under a drought, but this may continue to get worse with the dry weather we've seen. Now, as far as the temperatures, tomorrow will still be pretty warm, highs in the lower 80s, plenty of cloud cover, and for the weekend, that's not really going to change too much. Lower 80s, some clouds. Sunday morning especially will be the best chance of rainfall, but if it does rain, not expected to be much. And for those of you planning to attend the Badgers game, again, plenty of cloud cover, 70s at kickoff, lower 80s by the end of the game. No needs for sunglasses, but again, there is a small chance of rainfall. Winds southeast at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Looking at the full 7 to 10 day forecast, not much is going to change with the exception of the clouds clearing out through next week. Temperatures not changing at all. We may see a better chance of rain towards next weekend, but obviously a lot can change between now and then. Overall, though, we are going to stay above average and stay relatively dry. Again, these rain chances are only expected to be pretty light, and this is expected to continue even beyond the 10-day forecast.
Jacob, thank you. It is a sad day in Milwaukee as a beloved member of the Brewers family passes away. Hank, the ballpark pup, died earlier today. Hank's relationship with the Brewers began all the way back in February of 2014 when he simply wandered into the Brewers Arizona spring training complex at Maryvale, and for the past 10 years, he lived a pretty comfortable life with the Brewers, with the family of Brewers COO of the team. The Brewers encourage fans to donate to the Wisconsin Humane Society to honor Hank's life.
And coming up in sports, all eyes on number 4. How the Badgers plan to contain Jalen Milroe and that Alabama offense. Isn't that on News 3 Now?
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
4 years ago, rioters set this Minneapolis police station on fire, trying to burn me and my fellow police officers alive. Governor Tim Walz left us for dead. And Kamala Harris?
This is a movement, I'm telling you. Everyone beware. They're not going to let up, and they should not.
She raised millions to help bail rioters out of jail and supported defunding the police. Kamala sold cops out and put families at risk. Kamala Harris is too weak and too dangerous to be president.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere. It's Chevy truck season. Get 1.9% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
If your windows are leaky and drafty, it's possible they weren't installed properly. Many installers lack proper training, and shoddy installation leaves your home vulnerable to extreme weather. At Next Door and Window, we're reinventing window installation. Our approach ensures your windows are sealed tight and energy efficient. And your windows and doors will be installed by certified experts who treat your home as if it was their own. When you demand tomorrow's comfort, Next delivers. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
There are over 21,000 Wisconsin veterans struggling to pay for rent and utilities.
Thank you for your service.
Many are also facing issues with their mental health.
Thank you for your service.
We must do more to help these heroes who have already sacrificed so much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Words simply aren't enough.
I'm sorry.
Make a difference by donating to this critical Wisconsin survival safety net today.
Friday the 13th, 13 hours only, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. 13 of the hottest deals, like Lay's chips and fresh ground chuck. 13 deals that are hotter than hot, including items for under $1. Save big on these 13 deals and more in-store and online. Friday the 13th for 13 hours, only at Hy-Vee.
Welcome to Washington, D.C. You got a bunch of loudmouth, preening politicians. It's absolute chaos. I'm Derek Van Orden, and after 26 years as a Navy SEAL, there's a few things that I learned. You stay on mission, you know what you're fighting for, and sometimes you gotta get a little dirty to finish the job. Let's go, kids. Not you. Not you. You. Let's go. I'm Derek Van Orden. And, I approve this message.
No change on Jordan Love's status for Sunday's home opener. Green Bay's QB1 did not practice again, but like yesterday, he was staying engaged, taking mental reps and coaching up Malik Willis, who's trying to learn everything as soon as possible. Now, if Willis starts on Sunday, it will be his 19th day in Green Bay since being signed by the franchise.
It can be challenging, especially a guy that has been here a short period of time, but it's one that we're going to embrace, and we're going to do everything in our power to put him in the best possible position. And he's working really hard, and he's done a nice job. I would say the practice today was better than it was yesterday, so that's encouraging. And I think the more reps he gets, the better he gets.
Well, speaking of quarterbacks, there's a pretty good one coming to Camp Randall on Saturday, and Alabama's Jalen Milroe does it all for the Tide. In 2 games this season, Milroe has thrown for just under 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, while also rushing for 81 yards and 4 more touchdowns. The Bama offense goes as Milroe goes, and priority number 1 for the Badger defense, contain number 4.
You give the quarterback a sliver. I mean, you know, 6, 8, 10 yards are not 6, 8, 10 yards like they are normally. He can take it the distance.
He's a great quarterback. You know, we have to box him in, play the box, and have great rush lane integrity, you know, and try to keep him in a pocket and box him in as much as possible and not let him escape and get outside.
Well, here's your daily reminder to watch this week's Wisconsin Huddle on Friday at 6:30 right here on News 3 Now. Ches Malusi back again to break down UW's big game with Bama and much, much more. Ahead of Wisconsin's Kohl Center Classic against Marquette, Kelly Sheffield has added another coach to his coaching staff, and she's one of the best to ever do it at UW. Lauren Carlini returns to the Badger bench to serve as an offensive analyst and strategy consultant. The 2024 Olympic silver medalist was a 4-time All-American during her playing days in Madison. Her first match in her new role will be Tuesday against the Golden Eagles. And the Brewers and Giants in a pitcher's duel in their series rubber match. Just 4 combined hits so far between the two. This one scoreless in the 6th inning. We're back after this.
Get up to 60% off list prices on hundreds of items at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Get this power recliner for a steal, or a super padded, family-friendly reclining sectional.
Up to 60% off at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Democrats say everything's great, but when you're on a fixed income struggling to pay for gas, groceries, or medicine, it doesn't feel great.
Biden Harris created this mess.
And Tammy Baldwin's been right there with them.
25 years in Washington. What's she done?
Raised taxes.
Added trillions in new debt.
And gave stimulus checks to illegals.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
I'd like a stimulus check.
I'd like you to take out the trash.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. Trust your home with RG Heating and AC.
Arby's is full of choices. Quick, you can get your favorite stuff 3 for $5.
Pretty good.
Incredible value for a limited time. Reach in and eat whatever you grab. Arby's, we have the meats.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
I'm not old enough to vote yet, but I learned how 1 out of 6 of us will someday be raped.
So please, think about me when you vote. I learned how our freedom to have an abortion was taken away.
Even in cases of rape or incest.
Even to travel to get an abortion.
Please, think about me.
You know who got rid of Roe v. Wade.
Now women are being refused life-saving care at hospitals.
And politicians are trying to ban birth control.
Please, think about me.
My parents call me their miracle daughter because I was born with IVF.
But IVF could be banned too. Do they think we're less than human?
Do they think we can't make decisions about our own bodies? About our own lives? When you vote, please think about me.
And me. And me.
Because the politician who got rid of Roe v. Wade, he couldn't care less.
Labor Day exclusive. See the brand new Nectar Premier Hybrid first at Slumberland with a cooling cover and gel memory foam for pressure relief, only $10.99. Or shop America's favorite brands. Hurry, and soon at Slumberland.
The Final Drive high school football coverage, Fridays at 10.
Tonight,
I might not be the best debater, but I can still zing at the old hat chat.
Colbert's New with Jeff Bridges, plus Cooking with Evie, tonight on CBS.
A pair of rare Amur tigers, cubs, made their public debut at the Minnesota Zoo. The two cubs venturing outside for the first time since they were born back in May. The pair raising hopes for preserving the endangered species. Scientists estimate the Amur tiger population is about 400 to 500 individuals total in the wild. Zoologists say the litter is valuable because healthy tigers in human care could someday support populations in the wild as well. Jacob is back as we take one final check of the forecast.
Yeah, let's take a look at that forecast for the Badgers game. Plenty of cloud cover, small chance of rain, overall pretty quiet.
All right, thanks for joining us. Producer now at 10, folks. Have a great night.